Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and my podcast. Today I'm inviting back into the studio. Well, actually I'm not inviting Joe back into the studio because we went to his studio last time. But today, Joe, I'd like to welcome you to my new podcasting studio. For regular viewers that have seen many of my videos, you may well know Joseph Dart. He's a professional wedding photographer, corporate photography, does events and a whole host of photographic and video related projects. And you're having a bit of a break at the moment, aren't you, for two reasons?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the first reason is that all weddings have been cancelled or they're very small, so a lot of brides are there moving them to next year, obviously.
And number two reason, your good wife is expecting your third one, isn't it?
That's right.
You want to build a football team, I believe.
Well, building a little crew, I think, to take with me help out on set. Yeah.
I loaned Joe my Sony ZV-1. And that's a box for it. Apparently, according to Sony, it's made for vlogging. So I thought I'd lend it to Joe. He's a bit of a dab hand with a camera. He used them a few years now. And I just thought I'd lend it to him and see what your thoughts were for, vlogging, stills. Over to you, Joseph.
Yeah, well, I personally, Bob, I think this is a brilliant little camera. There are a lot of really good things. I mean, the main thing is its size. To me, that is the biggest pro. It's so small, but it packs such a powerful punch.
Yeah, I agree.
If you know what you're doing with a camera, then I think this has the capability. So if you're a content creator and you want to sort of advance more and you want to have a good quality in your pocket, this is such a great option, especially for video. I really like the built-in microphone. On the top.
Did you find it, good enough?
I really like it. I think as far as built-in microphones go, I'm not comparing it to an external mic attached to it. I'm just saying, as internal mics go, it's a pretty good internal mic. I mean, you could use this no problem. And if you do a little
certainly for vlogging, because you're quite close. Your mouth is quite close to the camera, and it comes with. Well, actually, I haven't got it to hand, but it comes with a little wind muff that sits on the top of the camera, which is quite nifty.
Which is a great idea. It's a really great idea. That and it's so easy to just have that in your pocket. And because it's flat and you can just literally slide it on. Obviously, the screen is brilliant. The tally light is great because you can see your recording. Yeah. Although if you are vlogging in the sense of holding it in front of you, you're going to be able to see your recording anyway. But when it's across the room or on a tripod and you want to do the tally light's great for that.
For me, that is a lifesaver for me because I've been doing YouTube videos for 5 years, and I can't begin to tell you how many times I've done my waffle only to find one of the cameras, because I usually shoot with 3 cameras. One of the cameras wasn't running.
Yeah, and it is an issue. Yeah, we know. As far as button placements and things go on this, I really liked it. Now, I didn't have this long enough to really go into the menus and change things and to start on that. I just used it for its basic functions. I actually did a little test video for you. This is what I was talking about before. It's taking 6 seconds to shut down. So when I turn this on and I close this up, it turns off automatically. And it goes 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. So I'm not sure why that is. Sometimes it takes 3 seconds.
And I think I've worked it out.
Oh, have you?
I mean, if you turn it off and on via the on switch on the top, Right, and then use the screen to close it. I think it gets confused because you haven't turned it off and on by the screen.
Right,
so,
okay.
So
that's on.
So that's on now. And if I close it...
That's in 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. So
that isn't... No, I haven't worked it out.
No, yeah,
I don't know. I need to... I'll do a bit of head scratching with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other thing...
One.
It is. And when I went to show you this before, it was just shutting down in 3 seconds.
It was, yeah.
So I don't know if there's a setting or something, or I'm not really sure what's happening there. So one of the things that I was a little bit disappointed with, and there is a workaround for it, so it's not the end of the world, is I like to shoot photos and video in the same mode.
Yeah.
What I was finding was I was composing something because I'm in stills mode.
Right.
I was composing something, pressing record, and it was cropping in because it's got the active stabilization, which is you want on anyway if you're doing handheld stuff, like I was in the garden. That to me was a little bit annoying. You can go into video mode, and then you will see the composition before you press record, and then you can take photos whilst it's recording. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to take a photo of something, and then I wanted to just be able to press record and then stop recording. Yeah.
I think what Sony have done, it's a compromise, isn't it? I think it is primarily a video camera. Although I've taken some great stills. What I'll do actually is put a link to my Flickr page, so the people who are listening to this podcast can actually go to the link and see photographs that I've taken. I don't think you've supplied. Oh, you probably haven't, because most of them will be of your family. So, so I've taken quite a few photographs with this, and I put a link to that on my Flickr page. So they can see, everyone can see how good the stills are off it.
Well, I would say that in regards to the stills, that the quality of the stills off of this thing is absolutely amazing, as you would expect from any camera coming out these days. Most of them produce amazing stills.
They do indeed.
But the files, particularly out of this, from what I've seen, taking portraits of the kids and things around the house when I borrowed it.
Right.
Just really, when I look at them on the screen, I'm just like, wow, it's so crisp and clean, and the skin tones are really nice on this camera. And I know Sony before...
they worked really hard, on their skin tones, because we're now filming this with two A6100s, which I've just invested in. And I have noticed the skin tones that are coming off the new Sonys, i.e. the A6100 and the ZV-1, are certainly a lot better than the yellowish skin tones that came off the A6000, which are the predecessors to these two, and various other, the original A7 S's. Oh, got it. I find with manufacturers, they have so many names. Look at Olympus, OMD, EM1, Mark II.
I know. Yeah,
whoever in marketing sat down and thought, that's how we're going to name it. At least with Sony now, whether they've just learned or whether they've just call it ZV-1, just three symbols. Much easier to remember, isn't
it? So in regards to the photos, Bob, like I said, the images off of this are absolutely amazing. However, I would not recommend this camera to somebody who's looking to get started in photography, or a beginner photographer.
I certainly wouldn't.
It's not a good way to learn on a camera like this, I don't think. I mean, for composition and light, yes, of course, any camera will do. Your phone will do for that, but it's just not intuitive enough for the photo side. But for the video side, you literally can take it out of the box, start recording without any knowledge. It's just the price bracket for that.
It seems to be hovering between the 700 and 800. Some have got it at 699, but on pre-order, and some have got it at 749, 799. So it is for a compact camera. It is blooming expensive.
Yeah. But what you get,
you get for it,
is good.
Yeah.
However, you have to compare it. I remember originally we were talking about it before off of filming when we were saying about what it would have cost back in the day to get something like this. Yeah. However, you have to compare it to what's available today. Yeah. For what you can get with that money is a lot.
I mean, again, let's go back to even in the Sony range. The A6100. Now, I picked up a brand new one with its lens, kit lens, for 679 less 10%, so 600 quid.
Yeah.
So that is between £100 to £200 less than that. It's got interchangeable lenses, it's got manual control, it's got everything that a beginner learner would want,
Yeah.
So you are completely right. Even in Sony's own product range, you can get a higher spec camera for less money.
Yes, but will it fit in your pocket?
But it won't fit in your pocket.
Yeah, and will it have a 24/7?
And also, it's lacking. That's got the product showcase mode. Again, video related, great for content creators. It's got the bokeh. I don't know what they call it, but defocus
background, which is
every time I think of that phrase, I always think of a Panasonic's depth and defocus technology. I don't know why, but
I mean, so in a nutshell, Bob, what I'm saying, I really like this camera. Would I buy this camera? No, I would not buy this camera. Will I buy it? Possibly in a few years' time when the price has gone down, and I will buy a second-hand one on online. Just because when I'm doing vlogging and things, I'll be out doing things, and I just wouldn't want a £700-800 camera just being knocked about and thrown in the bag and things like that. Whereas the Canon M3 I currently use for vlogging, I just used a built-in mic on that, and it's a flip screen, so I can't really put an external unless you put it onto the side with a botch job. And I don't really care about it. If it fell over and broke, I wouldn't cry about it. You know. So,
no, I can completely agree with you. But if you're a content creator making money out of your content on YouTube, that is probably a no-brainer.
I think so. And it's got the stabilization on it, and the thing is as well, with a camera this small and light, I wouldn't use it for professional work because it does look like a point and shoot, even though it is a point and shoot.
Good on a gimbal though, Joe.
Yeah,
if you was out doing professional work and you had a little compact gimbal, you could get some beautiful shots with that.
Yeah, I mean, I am not a fan of I love tiny cameras. I love portability, and the reason why I love them is because it means people will take them everywhere and actually shoot with them. Like, I wouldn't be bringing my Canon 5D Mark IV here, but I would easily have this in my pocket
with you.
Just while I'm walking down the street
that makes sense.
to go and pay something into the bank or something.
Yeah.
You see, so you'd have this with you. And that's, in my opinion, where it shines. You know, if you're going to do daily vlogging constantly, you could literally slip this and a little mic or something in your pocket.
Yeah, you could.
And you
the little Rode wireless goes. I mean, they're so compact.
On the exactly. You know. And literally anywhere you go, whatever you're doing, you could just always have it on you. Yeah. So occasionally, sometimes you'll be doing something unexpected, and you'll think, if I had my camera. You do it. A lot of daily vloggers and a lot of people who vlog normally take their camera with them.
I keep that with me. So I've got, again, it's not handy. You've got pouch. Let's keep it in your pouch. You've got a spare battery with it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. It uses the original RX100 range batteries. And that dates back from years ago when the first RX100 came out.
Yeah.
So many people were saying that's a negative. I see that as a positive. Because if you have invested in older kit, Sony is still making it backward compatible. Yeah, and I think that's I see. For me, that's great because I've got a little grip that we can't find. I did buy a little Sony grip. I don't know why I'm doing this because nobody really knows what that means. But I did buy a little Sony grip with a USB lead that works with it, but I can't find it since the last time you was in the office.
Yeah,
I reckon you nicked it, but you know.
Well, it wasn't the last time I was in the office. It was the last time Paul
it was
the
last time Paul was in the office. Go. Yeah.
So, check his pockets.
Yeah. Great little camera. So there we go. Well, Joe, I appreciate your thoughts on that, and we'll put the video up for people to see. Somebody there's a conspiracy actually on YouTube from a guy, and I think he's got an interesting point because he doesn't think that was originally made for vlogging.
It doesn't matter whether it was originally made for vlogging. Of course it is actually a really good vlogging camera.
But do you know why he says that though?
Yeah.
Because the box has been made, and then somebody in marketing has thought, hey, that's a good vlogging camera. Let's manufacture a little cardboard slip that we can slide over the box and call it the made for vlogging. Oh,
yeah.
What a smart idea.
It is a clever little idea. And now, just to quickly, Bob, before we finish up here, something worth noting, if you are one of those vloggers who has the tripod or something there, the tripod mount here is very close to the battery. And if you've got anything on there, I mean, it is what it is. And it's a bit of a pain in the backside that you have to take it off, but it is what it is. It's not really. If you've got a small little tripod, it's a little twisty thing. You just spin it off, boom.
I completely agree. And it frustrates me something rotten. I mean, these 6100s, whether Sony consciously moved the port so it's away from the battery, I have no idea. It is a bigger camera, so they can do. But they could have. I guess, and I'm only guessing because I don't know, instead of being this side, they could have possibly put it offside that side, possibly.
No. This is what the people who make these cameras, Bob, right? They're very, very clever, and they design these cameras. If they could have, they would have. They're not silly.
No.
You know, the record button's not on the bottom.
No,
because it's on the top for a reason, because it's been designed that way.
Yeah,
so when they do these things, they have to. They know that people are going to go, what a shame. But they go, there's just nowhere else for it to go. To keep it this small, to get. Yeah, that's my opinion. I don't know for a fact, but I know that the people who invent, they spend a lot of time and a lot of money researching and developing these cameras.
They do,
and that's not a mistake. No. It has to be there because of the lens and because of this and that. It has to just be there, and for the sake of just twisting it and taking it off. The other great thing, obviously, we didn't mention, Bob, is about the battery. You did say about the batteries being back from the RX 100 range. But the great thing about this, if the battery runs out, you can plug in the USB thing.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because I was about to bring that up.
Right,
Again, my A6100s, a crucial thing with them, and all the A6 range, and obviously with that, plug it into the mains or run it off battery power, off a USB power block. I don't have to. You and I could waffle on till Christmas, and the SD card would run out, but the battery power wouldn't run out on the cameras because they're continuously running. The other nice thing that Sony done with this, which they've learned, I think, from Canon and Panasonic, because this is the very first camera that Sony made with an articulating screen. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did not know that.
But it actually isn't the very first camera. They've been doing that with their video cameras for the last 6 years, 10 years or so. So it isn't the first time a Sony camera, but it's the first time that a Sony Steels camera, hybrid camera, has got an articulating screen. But what they've nicely done with the Panasonics, the ports don't block it, obscure the view of the screen. The ports are now on the other side.
Right, so they've learnt from that mistake.
So they've learned from other people's mistakes.
So, I mean, just to recap everything, Bob, on this camera, not to recap, but just to sort of sum up everything, I think this is a great little camera. I think anybody who is purchasing this should know what they're purchasing and what it's for. If you're going to use this as a vlogging camera, that's great. There are plenty of cheaper options if that is an issue, if budget is an issue. If you're just starting or just learning and you don't know the capabilities of what this camera can do, then it's not a good choice. Just get a simpler, cheaper one.
Completely agree.
Use it and take it with you everywhere.
Use it and abuse it until you've really got...
Exactly. Use it and abuse it. Just take as many photos and as many videos as you can. Get used to it, and then maybe move up to something like this. It is enjoyable to use. I did enjoy it. It's not as enjoyable for photos like my Fujis are, my little X100 or X70. I just love documenting my family with those cameras, and obviously on the film stuff as well. But as far as a vlogging camera, I think it's a superb little camera, and even that in my kit bag as a backup, in case one of my cameras went down, rather than a whole setup, even on a professional job, I could literally set this up as a backup camera and record or behind the scenes, and the quality is going to be superb.
Yeah,
and it's going to stand up
for and also for C and B roll. If you're into video production, I would have no qualms getting B roll with that camera. Well, I do use it. I actually do use it for close up shots and for B roll anyway. So there we go.
Yep.
Joe, I really appreciate your thoughts on the little ZV-1. It's a babby little camera, and I think we both think it's a great little camera. So thanks for coming in, Joe. Really, really appreciate that. I'll put a link, if it's all right with you, to your website in the description below. So if there's any brides next year getting married who want to book you,
no, don't call me. Don't contact me.
So there we go. So I'd like to thank Joe. It's always a pleasure having Joe into the studio. He speaks a lot of sense and is a terrific guy. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching this video. If you enjoy my channel, please subscribe. It really does help me grow the channel. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like the content, stay tuned for more videos relating to video and photography. If you are a content creator and you use music in your video, it's worth going to a website called soundstripe.com. I'll put a link in the description below. They provide copyright-free music for YouTube, for Vimeo, and TV ads and what have you. And use my discount code AVP, and you'll get 10% off your subscription. That'd be fantastic. It's a great service. I use it all the time. So there we go. Soundstripe.com. Link will be in the description. Get 10% off your subscription. So thanks very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.